passionate about Cleveland sports?
He's going in! Touchdown!
Browns, Indians, Cavs, the Big Ten, and more.
Cleveland is a city of champions once again!
Andy and Jarid, Cleveland and beyond.
Swing it line! To deep right!
Here are your hosts, Andy Billman and Jarid Watson.
And we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Hello and welcome, Andy and Jarid, Cleveland and beyond. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jarid Watson, and this podcast is brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out. Original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Hey, goodbye to sunshine. Traded to the San Diego Padres, where he's going to get a lot more sunshine, along with Greg Allen in a massive 9-player trade. Will this be the 2.0 Joe Carter trade for the Indians? Time will tell. And what does this mean for 2020? Have the Indians gotten better after this move for this season? On the field, the Indians have a winning week, going 4-2 against the Twinkies and the Redbirds, and they are back in first place. Exciting stuff. I know I'm fired up about that. On the other hand, let's talk about the Browns. They had a scrimmage on Sunday in First Energy Stadium, and as we are, less than 2 weeks away from the opener in Baltimore, oh boy, we're going to discuss how Stefanski and Baker, more importantly, are feeling heading into the season. And finally, the 3 Cleveland major professional sports teams are forming a sports alliance to address social injustice facing the city of Cleveland and all Northeast Ohio. I think everyone at this point knows where I stand on all that stuff. Good for me, good for Andy.
Very cool.
Good for
Very
everybody. Cool. But first, your first place, wheeling and dealing, Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians.
We said this a week ago, and here we are, or not a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I thought a team vote should be happening with Clevinger. I know earlier today, Antonetti said this decision did not impact any way that they were doing that. I call bullshit on that. Very big bullshit on that. I love Antonetti. I get it.
He had to say that.
He had to say that. There's no the comments. I look, everything needs to be said is even from Clevinger's mouth after Wednesday. Quote, I'm walking on a tightrope right now, as I should be. I'm making sure I contribute and not be a distraction. When I read that, I actually said, we have now accelerated the trade machine. You know, I never would want a team to handle things like this because I don't think it's fair for the players. I don't think it's fair for the ownership, obviously. In 2020, though, with COVID-19, I think this was the fair move. And I think the team had a big say in why Clevinger left. Now, the other part of this that played into this, which my partner alluded to, which I thought too at the time, this feels like Trevor Bauer 2.0. And it was going down Trevor Bauer 2.0 to everything. And honestly, the plane ride was Bauer throwing the ball over the center field fence. It was very, very similar situation. I think probably some members in the inner staff of the Indians have said, we've seen this. We are getting the warning signs. Are we really going to do this? Add in Tristan McKenzie's start in Cleveland. Add in knowing what they have behind it, knowing in the background everything that's going on. They made this trade and the trade happened. Now, huge trade. Here's my one comment before I let my partner talk. One more. The biggest thing, though, about this trade, it's prospects, it's great, it's exciting, all that stuff. I don't think this has helped the 2020 season. Now, 2022, 2023, hey, I like it. I'm probably on board it. Jarid, I'll be honest with you, outside of Josh Naylor and the pitcher Quantrill, even those guys, not a lot of major league experience. I like the trade. I get it. Massive haul. Everybody's giving high fives to both organizations here. If we're being fair, even with this being right, 2020, I think the prospects got smaller winning it all. Not gone, but smaller.
When was the deadline? Was that it today at 2 or is it at
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. So trade
nothing
gone.
else happened today.
Done.
At time of recording here on the 31st on Monday, nothing else. So that's the only move. Okay, so here's how I'm looking at it. Clevinger, you and I have called it. We knew from the very beginning that of the two, between him and Plesac, that Clevinger was the one who should have known better, who should have been more responsible, who has had his own other issues, especially regarding how close he was with Bauer. I know that a lot of people like Clevinger. I get it. I'm the same way that I am with him that I am with Bauer. And that was, it's great when he's up and great when he's doing good things. And it is a fucking shit show when he does something dumb. And this one took the cake for me. So I was ready for him to go. as long as Plesac can handle things and has figured things out a little bit, which I'm pretty sure that they're on the right path with him if they're going to bring him up to start tomorrow. So he'll be Tuesday's starter. So that's good. Now what we have to worry about is the start that we saw out of Savale yesterday makes me a little bit more nervous regarding this move, because Savale's start kind of felt like one of Carrasco's off days. Runs scored early on him, and we're in a hole, and you knew the offense wasn't going to get out of it. That being said, they still took 2 of 3 from St. Louis. So I'm happy with that. They look good over the weekend. They showed they can beat the Twins, which is really all I wanted to see out of this team, was can they beat the Twins? And they can beat the Twins. Cool. Got it. So now let's look at the move that they made. Naylor is another person who has he had issues in the dugouts in other places?
I've not read
just
that.
Rumor?
I've not read that.
Okay. Well, then I'm not going to comment anymore on that, because what I have read may have just been rumor. Lord knows if you're looking at Reflog or at Sir Yacht, you might be looking at some BS on Twitter. Then again, it could be true. Anyway, if that's an issue, well, then you're bringing in another person with behavioral issues after replacing someone with behavioral issues. Still, again, it's nothing Tito can't handle. I'm not worried about that. The rest of it, we're talking about the future of this team. We're talking about guys that might replace Carlos Santana down the road. We're also talking about possibly the foreshadowing of the fact that the Indians will not be signing Lindor. So
that's definitely in the air now.
It is
definitely
there.
In the air.
Now, the talent they got, though, they have been really good at getting talent over and flipping things. And they've been doing it with the Padres for the past 3 seasons, as Mandy Bell highlighted on Twitter today as well.
Historically with the Padres, Joe Carter. I mean, they've done a lot.
Yeah. Jumping back to the Joe Carter 2.0.
A lot of big trades with the Padres.
So what does it mean for this season? I think it's nil. I think it's net gain loss. I think we're nil right now, because the rotation is still going to have 5 solid starters. Okay. The rest of the pitching staff has held their own. I'm not worried about them. They are in first place. The bummer is I really wanted a bat in the outfield. Naylor is batting like 274 right now. He's only got 1 home run on the season. He's got 10 hits. It's hard to really make a judgment on whether his impact is going to be immediate and whether he's going to come in here and help fix not only the bats, but also defensively. Defensively, that's the right move, right? Okay, we can't say that. Defensively, we have improved the outfield.
Hey, look, this guy Quantrill can pitch. Good pitcher coming out of the bullpen, and could be a starter. They have a guy now to come in, like another bullpen piece who's pitched very well in the month of August. You'll take that any day of the week. Josh Naylor reminds me of Franmil Reyes come to the Indians last year. Young kid who's hitting well in major leagues, but Franmil only played a handful of games. Josh Naylor, not that different. We're basically raising the calculation is here. The Padres have the best farm system in baseball. We've seen it through Franmil Reyes so far. If Josh Naylor's anything like Franmil Reyes, holy cow, you got 2 big pieces in your outfield. Yeah. Now, I don't agree with Jared on this one thing. I think 2020 takes a step back because going on your point about Savale, even if Savale pitched well yesterday, you're going with McKenzie, Savale, Plesac, and big spots in the playoffs. One of those guys, or 2 of them are going to be starting. Right? Okay, I get it.
We're going to have to do that anyway.
Not with Clevinger. If Clevinger would have been out there, you got one less guy out there. Now
you can't blame the Indians on that, though, and you know that.
No. Ready? I am acknowledging the Clevinger trade.
I know.
What I'm questioning is, and I'm questioning this, why not take some of those parts you got today and try to get a bat? I do think that is in play here for question, because 2020 to me, the window has gotten smaller. I'm not saying it's impossible because we have Shane Bieber. They're talking about him winning not only the Cy Young but MVP. Yeah. So I'm not naive. You have something like that in there. And Clevinger, yes, he's very good, but I don't know if he reminded me of Bauer. He really did remind me of Bauer. Where it's like, I saw elite stuff. I don't know if he's an elite pitcher. So again, the trade makes sense. All up there.
He didn't have mentally. He was too much ego driven, too much attitude, too much, showing his frustration on the mound at times. It's almost as obnoxious as his windup.
So from game 1, you saw it. Now, maybe this will change his career. He loves the fresh air of California, supposedly. So all that's great. Good. You know what? You're getting all that and more.
Yep.
Again, though, for 2020, I would have loved to see the Indians out of bat. And again, I've heard great things about this Joey Cantello guy. Great. He's going to be a left-handed. The Indians don't have a left-handed pitcher. Fantastic. There have been out of all these guys, if someone asks me who are you most excited about, it's actually the pitcher, the left-handed guy, the left-handed pitcher. He sounds like he's going to be nasty. Obviously, everybody's talking about Arias, this number 7 prospect, the shortstop. Depending on who you read, Jared, hitting might be a little bit of an issue. We'll see. And then everybody's high on this guy, Owen Miller. He can swing the bat. Well, and he's a shortstop second baseman.
And what I don't know much. I didn't look enough into Austin Hodges. But
steady backup.
Obviously, the Indians are very thin at catcher.
The Sandy Leon days are coming to an end. And Sandy Leon's a nice guy. We're all being honest. The Sandy Leon experience, I think we can take a pass on. Yeah. Austin Hedges, Ken Rosenthal said this quote, is basically another version of Roberto Perez. Great defensively, can't hit. And his numbers state that. He can catch anything. Like his defensive skills are right there with Perez. That says a lot. Can't hit.
Boy.
Can't hit.
Gotta teach those two to bunt.
I know. Well, and again, I want to give a tip of the cap too to Greg Allen, who had been playing better lately, but that had to be a part of the deal. I've seen enough of Greg Allen to say he wasn't here for the long haul. Right. Nice guy, nice, athletic, all that stuff. You just hope Josh Naylor can explode and playing every day can really take over, because I will say, if we have another Franmil Reyes situation, that's not bad. But again, that's more 2021. Josh Naylor's not going to carry this lineup. Not going to carry this lineup. Can't do it. Can't expect it. Now, the bigger question about this whole thing is, the one guy for this year is Quantrill. He's pitched a lot this year for the Padres. He comes out of the bullpen. So the question about people like, well, you lost a starter. Well, Quantrill is a starter who's currently in the bullpen. So in these big games in the playoffs, we all know, if you have Tristan McKenzie gone, which you expect you probably would, or maybe it's Plesac or whoever, to have Quantrill come out and pitch 3 or 4 innings is huge, like he did on Friday night with Plutko. Plutko came out and relieved, actually it was Cam Hill, then Plutko. But McKenzie only went 4. Quantrill is a guy you can give for 2 or 3 or 4 innings. That's a huge, out of all these guys that the Indians have picked up, outside of Hedges being a backup catcher, Quantrill will make an impact. I guarantee you. Quantrill will make an impact on this team. I would be shocked if he's not on this final man roster.
Can we at least look at the fact that while the Indians didn't do much to improve the bats before this trade deadline, for this season at least, the past couple of weeks, some of these players have been hitting better.
Naquin's had a great week.
Naquin has been great.
Great
Ron
week.
Mill has been good.
Yep. J-Ram has even hit a few home runs.
Ticking up.
Lindor's better,
still hit or miss.
Slowest crawl, but better.
Right. So, and I know that we hate talking about this, but thank God their pitching has been this good, and that they are. I mean, we're complaining about a team that's in first place right now.
Again.
Right? And they are not playing to their potential yet. So
they have not taken off.
So do they need to? Did they need to improve upon the lineup, or they just need to play to their potential? And that's what I'm looking at. Well, if they can play to their potential offensively, which historically we know, and I know we said they couldn't survive it this year if they started slow. They started slow. Period. They started slow.
Here's my point.
They are still in first place. This is a team that's made the postseason for 8 seasons in a row, and all you have to do is get there. Andy, they still are in it, even though we might not be as up on them.
Jared, here's my point. Here's why they're a bat short. This team's a bat short. It doesn't mean you can't win at all, but they are a bat short.
It's going to take, they're going to have to grind it. That's it.
There's going to be some Maylocks games. Naylor in left field. Okay, we'll see. Delino DeShields your center fielder. Okay. Maybe Oscar Mercado wakes up, and then you got Naquin. You're going to have, because I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry. Forget who he is personality-wise. Luplo stinks. That play in left field on center was a joke. On Sunday was a joke. He can't be out there. If we're bringing up in big spots against the Yankees, coming out the bat now, Jordan Luplo. Oh, fuck. Shit, there's no one else. I mean, we can't. This team's a bat short. It's a bat short. So Jared's right. Everybody's going to hit on all cylinders. But I'm telling you, look at this lineup. And by the way, here's how bad of short they are. No one can get injured. Framil Reyes can't get injured. Frankie Lindor can't get injured.
Oh, God, no.
J-Ram can't get injured. Carlos Santana can't get injured. Okay? No one can get injured anymore. Cesar Hernandez.
They're
God,
going to lose. Yeah, somebody gets hurt in that lineup like that, they're going to lose a third to a half more games than they actually would.
That's my point. They are
out. Yeah, there's no way.
There's a bat
They're not
short.
going to score enough runs.
They're not going to score enough runs. So look, this team need to make again, 2021, the Indians are stronger than ever. They keep Frankie. I'm there. Cool. But let's be honest, 2020, they needed to get a bat. They didn't do it. So you're squeezing everything you can from this club. You're going to have to hope Oscar Mercado or Zimmer come back, swing the stick, or maybe it's Yu Chang. Someone's got to wake up from those three.
I think out of all three of them, Yu Chang's got the best bet on it. I don't know that Zimmer's going to have another shot with this team.
I think it's 0 for 3.
I don't know that Mercado. I'm not hope. My hopes just don't lie with him. I think out of all three of them, I think that. Yeah.
But Jared, that's what I'm alluding to. Like those are hopes and dreams. That's all they are.
Well, you can wish in one hand.
Yeah, I know. Again, like I'm not trying to Debbie down it, but it's like our pitch hitters are Mike Freeman and Jordan Luplow right now. In a big spot, that's not going to get it done. Sorry. I don't know what else to say. You're asking a lot from Mike Freeman, and you're asking a lot. Mike Freeman doesn't make me as nervous. Jordan Luplow makes me really nervous. I've seen enough Jordan Luplow.
I will say that you are correct, and what makes this still, despite all of this, a possibility of a winning season is that it's a shortened season.
Now, again,
this staff on a shortened season, because of how good their pitching is, in a short season and being able to play games in the playoffs where you're tinkering a little bit with who you're throwing where, that's going to make a big difference. So again, bottom line, get there, see what the hell happens, surprise the shit out of all of us, and let's go ahead and you put an asterisk next to it. I might knock you out because there's not going to be one.
So here's.
I'm kidding. I don't condone.
No. Here's the bigger picture for the Indians, though. I do want to land on this. Jared's right about all this stuff. It is what it is. If Josh Naylor can just. Here's the one thing, though, about this. Our third outfielder was batting about 100. So Josh Naylor can just bat above the Mendoza line. You're actually getting an improvement.
Like I said.
So
275, man. 275 is through the chart, through the roof right now for this team.
I cannot do Luplow, Mike Freeman, and Allen experiences anymore. So Naylor can just do that. That's great. And he's very young. The Indians, though, have to make trades like this because I thought they had to trade Clevinger. And here's why I will state this out loud again. Because they're getting depth to a team. That's how they survive. We all know this. 3 or 4 out of these players in the 6-player trade is going to really work out. Austin Hedges is a backup catcher. We know he is. Okay? I'm telling you, keep your eye on Quantrill. He's the guy no one talks about. You can look at his numbers. He started a whole last year as a rookie. That kid, the way he's pitching is another bullpen arm, is a weapon. And he can pitch length. That's a huge get. Huge.
And let's also discuss this about the prospects and the idea of the prospects and the way that the Indians have been able to flip these things. As much as we complain, not really all that often, to be honest. I just mentioned 8 seasons straight of getting into the playoffs. This is possibly going to help them extend that streak when prior to today, we had a lot more questions.
Well, they didn't
this kind of answers a few things, at least for how they're looking at the future, in a way that I can tell they still want to win, but I can also tell they're not out there to spend a lot of money.
No, right. By the way, they did not make the playoffs last year.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah.
They
I don't know
not.
why I kept saying that. Instead, yeah.
Yeah, they did not make it last year.
Disregard that. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
right.
minus last year, which, by the way, still had a winning season. There we go.
Still winning. But no, the Indians are making trades to do things, and I will also state this for the record.
Forget last season, damn it.
No, I know. I will also state this for the record for people. If you really want to, again, Joey Cantilio, I can't pronounce names. I will pronounce them by last year. That's the other guy I'm really excited about. Now, Arias and Miller, the 2 other guys. There's no doubt when you circle this, and we talked about this at the beginning of the season, The infield for the Indians is their best part of this
Ignore
team.
me. And by the way, Andy, I was so far off. I must have read something stupid, and I need to call myself out and interrupt you.
Sure.
They missed the playoffs in 15 and 14, and then they were there as So just disregard. Pretend. Don't even. Everyone. Don't even listen to what the fuck I just said. The past couple of. Just ignore it. Just pretend it didn't happen.
Right.
Pulled that stupid stat out of my ass. Apparently.
Well, that's okay. We love you though. But the biggest thing though about these parts though, Frankie's everybody's talking about. Cesar Hernandez is a free agent next year. So you're replacing guys who you're trying to fill spots with that are opening up. If you don't think you have, everybody loves Logan Allen. So he's your third baseman. Okay, cool. So now you got a shortstop and another shortstop second baseman right behind it to possibly replace Frankie and or Cesar. Because next year you're replacing one or not both. So you're starting to fill guys in place to fill things in. That makes sense. Again, I don't want to belabor this point. If people ask me, do you like the trade? I love the trade for 2021 and beyond. I just like the trade for this season because if I'm being truthful, I don't know how much it really helps outside of hoping for Josh Naylor and Quantrill. But okay, you got to do what you got to do, and they had to trade Clevinger. Do I think this was the best trade available for the Indians for what they got back? Yes, I do. And the Indians know what they're doing in these trades, and they've made great trades with the Padres, whether it's Joe Carter, whether it's to recent days with who they got. And, full circle on this, Domingo Santana was the guy who's been designated for assignment. Not surprised, by the way. He's just not been playing that great. It just tells you on the Indians that they let go of Domingo instead of someone like Luplow because how much they value people's. I've heard great things about Luplow, how nice of a person now is, how they like working with him. And by the way, I don't think it's coincidence that Greg Allen was playing a lot because Greg Allen got great comments. Love working with the guy, team guy. Now, Greg Allen got shipped out, but my point is the Indians are really about team chemistry, and that is great, and I am for that, and I'm glad to see that. And that's the reason why you're seeing some of these moves too. It's all about team chemistry well now. So I know people want to jump off the bridge. Hey, they can't win the World Series this year. I don't think that. Do I think, though, this is a huge move to making the World Series? No, I don't. Sports Fanatic MB says, I wish we could have gotten Waters from Atlanta, but I agree overall, love the trade. Yeah, the guy who's referencing was the star outfielder for the Braves, who's a young kid, actually from Georgia, who I also noticed too. And there's a connection there because I think John Hart still has his fingerprints entangled in the Braves organization. And as we all know, John Hart revived the Indians in the 80s and into the 90s. So there's a connection there too. All that to be said, though, I like this more than anything else about Clevinger. He is not in the AL. He is in Southern San Diego. You can't really see him down there. That's a good thing for the Indians. And I just want to say this now. Okay, now let's get to the bigger picture. The Clevinger tenure. I really don't like comparing things, but I have no other words or ways to describe it. He reminds me a lot of Trevor Bauer, where I saw things at times where he's dominating, where I saw things in times where you could give him the game in a big spot and he'd get you a great effort. And he'd play well. But there's other times, he might have a snafu in the mound. There's other times where he might things out. I don't like to compare, but I don't know how else to do it. I thought they were very similar, being honest.
He didn't have the ability to switch it into the next gear and take over as a dominant pitcher in the sport. And you saw that when Plesac, that it all switched. It all switched in that season. And Plesac took over as, oh boy, this is going to be, or Bieber rather. I'm sorry. See, my brain's all over the place today. It's been a busy day. Biebs took over and he did kick it in. Yeah. And it felt like, well, Clevinger, this was supposed to be you.
Yep.
The number one spot, that was supposed to be yours. It was set up that way, and he couldn't do it.
Could not do it. I like Savali a lot. I know Savali needed that start in St. Louis. Real quickly to yesterday's game.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are a professional hitting club. Yeah. They were due to win that game. The Indians blew a chance to sweep them. But if you give Wainwright a sniff at a victory, he did what he did. Complete game. Yeah. Complete game, 2-run game. 4-hitter. I mean, that's what you get. You cannot fuck around with a team like the Cardinals. And I'm glad they got burned in ways that you have to learn. When you have a chance to sweep a team and step on their neck, you got to do it. Savali needed that game because that's a good team. I know their record stinks, but they've gone through hell and back this year with COVID on their team. That is not a bad team. That was a good tester for Savali. I like Savali. Plesac, even though he had all those moments, let's just, for one moment, put that aside, I do like Plesac a lot. I like his talent a lot. Tristan McKenzie, we're all excited about. Cookie's your vet, and you got your ace. This team is set up still to win big things. Clevinger would have been great, but again, Jared and I said the same points, we're repeating ourselves. Even before the incident, when he flew back with the team, Clevinger had moments in the Royals game where you saw things where it's like, hey, and then you saw things in Twitter where they were goofy things, I know, but that kind of stuff, you would just like to see less of that and more on the field.
There's some toxicity there. There is.
It just seemed to feed itself. So all that to be said, was it a great trade for Vinny Pastano back in 2014? Yes. Did Clevinger have some fun moments on the mound? Yes. We enjoyed his persona and all that kind of stuff. All that to be said, this was the right move for the Indians. I know people don't want to hear that. It was the right move for the Indians to trade Bauer last year too. This is the right move. This is the right move. And keeping Plesac's the right move. It's the right move. Now it's time to get moving going forward. All that to be said, Jared, echoing what that fan did, I love the trade like it this year is my statement. That's the way I leave it right now. We kind of got into the week of baseball. Sunday, Adam Wainwright show happened. Saturday was the game of the week for the Indians, outside of the Beaver game on Tuesday. Saturday was a great, exciting game. 1-1. Great stuff from Cookie Carrasco was the big headliner too. Cookie needed a good start. He finally got it. Rare bad outing from Karinchak. Just struggled with his curveball, but he got out of there. Could have been worse, but he kept it 1-1. And then Naquin, who was the, Franmil Reyes 2 weeks ago, Naquin was the star of the week. He had multiple big games. Big hit on Saturday. Had the home run on Sunday. Huge, big winning hit on Wednesday too. He was big all throughout the week. Naquin, when he's healthy and running around, I think he'll carry more than what people think. I think the same for DeShields too. I like DeShields a lot in center field. I think that is a very good combo there. So you got him now and Naylor. I like that. I don't mind. It's not terrible. It isn't what it was 2 weeks ago.
Play off of each other again.
Yes.
The added this can help out with morale, and morale will translate right onto the field. Andy, there's possibilities that they're the untangible, the things that you can't grab onto.
Yes,
that might be the intangibles that might be what improved this team. The stuff that we're not seeing right now, right?
That's why.
I mean, and I will say this: you're right. Cookie needed a good start. I was hoping Saturday, and I
good
missed
start.
Most of that game. I missed almost all of it. But I was glad
great
to see Cookie had a good start. That was something he needed because control seemed to be an issue with him on and off. I'm liking that, and let's just obviously we're not worried. Savale is going to be fine.
He just you have those starts as a young pitcher. He made
that's when you when you're a young pitcher, and we've got a lot of those too.
Correct. When you make a bad pitch against the Tigers, you might get away with it. When you make a bad pitch against the Pirates, you're going to get away with it. Yeah. The Cardinals
they did get away with it with the Pirates.
But the professional hitting team of the Cardinals, hey, I mean, we know we can't stand him. Brad Miller, who talked trash about the Indians leaving town, he's a good hitter. Okay. Goldschmidt, great hitter. Dexter Fowler won a World Series, good hitter. Like, these are good professional hitters, and he's got banged around there. The other big story from this week, if you want an individual player outside of Naquin's performance all week, which was great, was Brad Hand. Hand had a great week. Now on Saturday, got a little dicey with the wild pitch, but he settled down, got the outs. He had 3 saves this week, Jared.
Then 2 against the Twins. Right after
Yes. Yes, chewing Tums, picking up my son.
Here we go.
Here we go. But he got out of there.
Yep.
I just want to reference the other big story in this week was Brad Hand. He had a good week, and not against the Pirates or the Royals, Twins, Cardinals. That's a good week. 3 saves, no runs. 3 saves, no runs.
And that's a warm up for the postseason.
Huge. Even I don't want to speak for you, who've been doubting Mr. Hand. Hey, big week. I want to applaud you. He had a great week. And Saturday, That was a huge win. I don't know what the fuck Yadier Molina was thinking, but thank God he decided to stand at third base and just watch Carlos Santana run into him.
Brutal.
Terrible loss for the Cardinals. But anyways, they got that win, and that's all that matters. And this team is finding ways to win. Friday was big blowout. I mean, Franmil Reyes, Santana, Naquin, they all kind of went off. McKenzie did not pitch great. But I thought he fought through the 4 innings. And again, what's the bottom line other story? And okay, it's a blowout, who cares? But Plucko having a nice 4 innings shutout ball means something. It's something you circle. It's like, he can do this. It's not a playoff situation, but you just it's like, okay, 4 innings, come in the bullpen. He can do this.
Yep.
That's the underlying story from Friday I liked, was Plucko's performance coming out of there. Wednesday was Clevenger's last start. We all know how that went. He had a nice job. Jay ran with the big home run. And again, Naquin had a huge home run. The other guy in this, there's many hidden stories out of the week. Phil Maton pitched big on Wednesday. He came in, kept the game tied, and really on the 8th innings when the gasoline was pouring on fire, Phil Maton, again, these little things add up. Cam Hill, Phil Maton, Whitgren we consistently love. Boilermaker, Brad Hand, he's pitching better. We all love Karen. I love Karen Jack. Everybody loves Karen Jack. Then you got Quantrill now, okay? Alvar Perez, he's our crafty lefty. The bullpen, who, funny enough, we were disparaging it before the season, has not only become like a good thing, it's become a strength. The Indians actually have a very, very good bullpen.
Well, yeah, we were worried about the Brad Hands. We were worried about the Simbers. We were worried about the Whitgrens. We were worried about things that seemed like we might have to pay attention to it. I love Perez right now, just because of how solid he has been and how he has been doing it for a long time.
I do too.
Karinchak, what I love right now is that we're not arguing over whether Karinchak should be closing baseball games right now. Would you have believed it, Andy? Would you believe that right now, halfway through the season, a little more than halfway through the season, that we wouldn't be having that conversation right now? Because I know we started out having that conversation, and I'm just thankful that we're not right now.
Brad Hand, actually, in a way, for the rest of the season, I'm going to button my lip about that, because Brad Hand proved a lot last week. And again, it makes a difference. Twins, Cardinals, those make a big difference. Yep. And again, no runs and really outside of Saturday's wild pitch, no threat. Great job by Brad Hand. I just think this bullpen has really been not talked about enough. It is a strength on this team. And then Tuesday was Bieber. And I want to get quickly to something that touched me. Frankie had a huge home run Tuesday. We all know it. And people got people got a little upset about the bat flip. That's wrong. The bat flip was done to talk and pump up the team, and I love that from Frankie, and I want that from Frankie.
He never looked at anyone on the other. He looked directly into his dugout and yelled, "Let's go," because he knows he's been struggling at the plate, and he wanted to get them fired up. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this unwritten rule bullshit in baseball.
And by the way,
blow it out your ass if you don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Blow it out your ass if you don't like it.
And by the way, we weren't complaining about that crap when we were complaining about bat flip stuff when Tommy was doing it, when other people were doing it. Frankie Lindor should be allowed to do it.
Oh.
I love this. I love Frankie Lindor getting excited.
Yeah, don't get me started on the...
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Well,
no, I know what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. Jim Thome, love him. He had the biggest bat flip you would see in the Seattle game in '95.
Why did he get away with it?
Why did he get away with it? Again, look. And by the way, I'll even go a step further.
I won't go there.
For some reason, Big Papi Ortiz also did backflips, and everybody applauded him, loved him. This bat flip shit has been argued on all these sides of the fence. It's great. Let it go, and that's it. The only bat flip I did not like was Jose Bautista. Other than that,
that one was bad.
That was bad. Other than that, I don't have any problem with this. And Frankie Lindor did it at a moment where his team needed to feel energy, where he was trying to get his team fired up. By the way, I love that Romo for the Twins got beaten, got taken behind a woodshed on Wednesday and gave up a bunch of runs after talking smack to the tribe back and forth. That was nice. That was nice on Wednesday. Nice seeing Romo going away. That was nice. I've circled it. That's a rivalry now. Romo and the Twins, that's a rivalry. That was nice. It was a nice little dig on Wednesday. That was nice. I like that.
Anytime they're beating the Twins, it's making me happy because I did not like them winning the division last season.
No, and by
did
the
not
way,
like that whatsoever.
No. And by the way, that team is very good. And I'm not naive to that. If, like the Twins Indians were playing in the playoffs, I would be biting my nails. That's a tough call. But all that to be said,
I would like to say that after that last series, I have a lot of confidence that the Indians have figured it out with the Twins, and they will look a lot better throughout the rest of the year.
The Indians won the regular season series with the Twins last year. The Indians are 3-4 right now, so they're right there. It's close. It's close. I know that. They're right there with them. Bieber tonight. Then you go play the Brew Crew. So they're in Kansas City. Then they play the Brew Crew for a while. So it's a good wraparound there. The last thing I have on the Tribe before we get to that, and they are in first place. I would not do too much of a deep dive here, but I just want to say, because I thought it showed a lot about the person. I love what Danny Salazar did on Twitter on Sunday. Yep. Kudos to Salazar. I would like to try to get him on the show. I thought that was a very, very cool thing he did. Saying thank you to Cleveland, thank you to the Indians, thank you to everything else. That guy had a strange year. I don't know what he's been going through or everything else, but for people who haven't seen it, check out Danny Salazar's Twitter page. I thought that was great what he did on Sunday. Very, very cool.
Very gracious. Very, very much. And you know what, Andy? It's been the theme with a lot of guys that have left the city over the past few years. Is they have all left with positive vibes, positive juju, positive words of praise for the city. And it's not even just the teams. It's really a lot of praise for the city itself and for the way that they are treated, for the love that they get, and for their love. It's not even all about what they're receiving, but it's about their love for giving back to the city of Cleveland. And we've seen a lot of that lately. That makes me proud. And it's been consistent probably for the last 4 or 5 years. We've seen these types of conversations about the city of Cleveland from these people when they're leaving. I love it. I love every bit of it. And Salazar's just the latest example of that.
And for Salazar to say that after how he exited says a lot about Cleveland. It says a lot about the Indians too.
Yes.
Because that was not a gracious exit. And for him to say that, I thought really said a lot about it. Kudos to Salazar. So I guess we're thumbs up on the trade. Love it for next year and beyond. Hopeful for this year. Again, my big guy for this year is Quantrill. I think Quantrill, Naylor, you just never know. I mean, hey, we're only batting 100.
Well, I'm going to put all my hope into him right now because we need it.
Good luck, Naylor.
Hit the shit out of the ball. That's it. That's all I care about.
Moving on to our Cleveland Browns. This has been the, again, Browns playing second page. Who would ever think that in late August? But here we are. They had a scrimmage finally where they got a lot of scuttlebutt on social media, even though none of us saw it. And we were just trying to pick apart things from what we could tell on YouTube.
So get ready. We're going to do it now.
Oh, we love a good guessing what happened and just reading off people's comments.
I think I made it pretty clear last episode how I feel about all of it.
I love analyzing anything. So let's analyze what people said and thought. They did have their first scrimmage. There's 2 or 3 takeaways. One, and a positive, and because his stats say it. Njoku, whatever it means, had a big day. He played really well. He caught the ball, did a lot of good things on the field. What does that mean? I don't know, but I thought that was good for him. It means
he's improving his what we'll get when we trade him. That's what that means.
Yeah, Harrison Bryant's still ahead of him, according to most, but okay, he had a good day. Yeah. So what does that mean? All right. The first team offense did not play as well. The second team offense, again, you make it what you want to all that. Here's some things. Here's some quotes, and I'll get into my big thought about this Browns teams. I'm starting to get a vibe. Okay. Stefanski, quote, I thought, by and large, both sides got a lot of really good work in. Quote, had a live portion of it and got into some different situation moments, so I was pleased with that, end quote. The second team offense, I think they were the Brown team. They won 14-10, so keep that in mind when you're listening to this. Mayfield, quote, I would not say it is anything on the field. I would say it's within our locker room. Getting around the guys and realizing that I have to do much more than just let my play on the field to be the quarterback for this team, end quote. Quote, I have to put my arms around these guys, lead the team, show them all the way, and especially in these uncertain times. And he went on to talk about that, and he made a speech also about social injustice, which we'll get to at the end. Here's my thing about this Browns team that I'm actually starting to get the vibe on. My hopeful parade is dying quickly. Okay, I'm now more realistic. It's just practice. I like the vibe of this team a lot still. Jared, though, playoffs, I just hope they go 7-9, 8-8. I'm kind of there now. And I'm just going to be honest. I know it's preseason and those scrimmage games between nothing and top of nothing. These Mayfield interceptions are bothersome to me. They're concerning.
As much as I will not make an assessment on this team because I feel like it is impossible in this COVID-19 situation.
I'll be like me and just make assumptions.
The way that this is all playing out, I will tell you this, Andy. I am nervous for Baker.
Yeah,
because I am telling you, you can tell by those words. You can tell by the way he's handling himself on and off the field that these coaches are up his ass. That's how I feel about this.
Yeah, I get the
feeling. There's a lot of pressure on him to quickly be the leader that he needs to be and not a lot of time to earn the trust to be that leader here prior to the season starting. Andy, I know that they're setting him up for success, but it feels, at least in this moment, like it's becoming a bit too much for him. We will have to see how it plays out. I am not making a judgment. I do not know whether this will, because things click for guys over time, Andy.
Sure.
Things click, right? And you know what? When they get on the field, it's another situation. Week 1, when you're facing the Ravens, it's a different situation than being you think? You think? So I don't know that I can sit here and just say the Browns aren't going to be able to make the playoffs because Baker Mayfield is throwing interceptions during scrimmages here in the preseason. I don't know that I can do that.
Absolutely. Here's where I'm coming off on this team. The first team defense went up against second team offense, and according to everybody, this is not a generality on one writer. This is multiple writers. The first team defense is having some real issues. Okay. Your quarterback's throwing a lot of interceptions in practice. Okay. All right. Now, we have a great running game. So if they run the ball 90% of the time, I think the Browns will be okay. Now, here are some other things that are starting to come to light. I'm starting to realize this is a 2021 team. I just hate saying it. I don't, Jared, I'm not going to get fooled again.
Oh my God. You're there. I'm
starting to, Jedrick Wills doesn't look good. Oh no.
That's fine. I'm not there. I can't trust any of this.
I'm just saying.
Any of it.
I want to give Mayfield, I'm sorry to go down this road. I'm like, if we're 6-10 again, do we give Mayfield another shot? Maybe. I don't know. I'm starting to go down this road. I'm starting to see some handwriting on the wall.
At least you're not someone else in local Cleveland sports that is bringing up the how good Case Keenum has looked.
He's a backup.
He's
a backup.
Yeah, there's a certain somebody who I think was trying to get that controversy going. We're not going to get into it.
Hey, look. Case, look, here's all I'm going to reference in this whole thing. If Case Keenum starts, the Browns are in bigger trouble for this year and years to come.
Yeah.
I said that. I will not get off that point. Now, hey, if Baker really stinks and shits the bed and Case Keenum needs to come through, yeah, put him in. Here's the other thing I'm hearing consistently now about Mayfield. When he's bootlegging and rolling out, which we saw in 18, he can fling the ball. It's wonderful. He makes big plays. When he's in the pocket and he has to make tough decisions, he's having a hard time still. And he's getting balls batted down. I'm starting to get that vibe, Jared, that, and by the way, this offense relies on movement. So this is good. This fits in with Baker. I don't think this is a given, what I'm saying. I'm just saying there's, like, if I'm drawing a Bob Ross painting, I'm adding more clouds. I'm adding some rain. But I don't think it's a thunderstorm hurricane. I'm just saying I'm seeing some things that this team's got to overcome. If they run the ball 95% of the time, I like it a lot. Maybe 96.
They're not going to run that much.
Not enough. 97.
They're going to run
right.
enough to open things up for Baker, though. I mean, and and we've said that dynamic is going to change the way that this team looks on the field in the regular season.
Absolutely. Jedrick Wills and there's the Jedrick Wills thing now. So Wills, you're starting to hear, looks like a rookie. Okay, we all expect that. This is the problem what I had from a long time ago. There's no backup plan on Wills. So Wills stinks. I don't know what you do. So I just want to keep reminding people about Baker, and I think all that stuff actually is not as worrisome to me about Wills. The Wills problem, wait, there may not be a problem. The Wills concern is real. Baker, it's practice. Who cares? Wills, though, from what people are telling me, and by the way, they think Nick Harris looks good. I liked him from day one when he talked at that press conference. Wills, to me, Harris, they seem to be more solidified. And by the way, J.C. Treader, has not announced him not playing, so they're expecting him to start too. But Jedrick Wills, this whole thing, again, Jared, I'm not doom and gloom. I'm there 100%. I'm more 60-40 doom and gloom.
60 doom, 40, 60 doom and gloom?
60 doom and gloom.
60% chance of...
It's not good.
Wow.
And I think it's going to be okay. And how about this? This is great news. I'm not convinced we're going to be shitty.
Well, I mean, okay.
That's good.
I guess if I'm coming from a place of 50-50, coin flip, because I don't know shit, right? We can act like we know shit. We don't know shit.
We know.
We know what we know.
We
what
set the
hearing.
lines in Vegas.
We know what we're reading. Okay, we can look at that too. That'll help us. That'll tell us. Vegas doesn't really lose, so not all that
no.
Not all that often. But we'll see. We'll see what they can do. We'll see if Jedrick Wills can figure it out. We'll see how well the offensive line does. We'll see if the first team defense can look. Andy, obviously, again, new coaching staff, new COVID-19 world, no preseason games. No real live games.
See, here you go. See, here again. I'm not saying we're going to be terrible. I'm just saying, realistically, you start looking around and you're like, I love the running game. I love the running game. And I love the running game. And I like bootlegs.
I think when we're going to have to start worrying is if we start seeing, because the first person that we're going to start to see getting pissed off when things aren't working out like they want, the first person that's going to give us the sign that things are going to go straight down the tubes, I think is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. So watch him early in the season to see what happens and how that affects the rest of the team, especially offensively, especially Baker. So that's going to be key. That's the one I'm nervous about. The blinds will be pulled back very quickly if we start seeing Odell getting pissed off on the sidelines.
Now here's the right. By the way, I agree with everything you just said. Landry, I love, and I like OBJ a lot too. I really do. I think those are great.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to get and I know Odell didn't always keep his composure, but I think you will see a much less patient Odell Beckham Jr. this season than you saw last year.
Okay. Here's where I'm going to go on all this, though, for the positivity of hope. All that to be said. And even though I'm not for sure doom and gloom, but I'm leaning more that way. Okay.
Yeah.
I do like how this organization is moving. And I'm very excited about the years to come. Yeah. I'm just thinking 2020 is a little bit more of a ball of shit than I want to maybe realize a month ago. Everything you were just saying. New coaching staff, no preseason games, left tackle rookie, a quarterback who's learning 3 systems in 3. It's a lot. I'm just starting to really come to the realization. I'm like, maybe I was a little rocket fuel too high. All that to be said, all of this is a scrimmage. So what does it mean? Nothing. They had the day off today. Okay, one other little thing on results, and then we'll get quickly to the things and we'll wrap up. Austin Seibert made some kicks, still doinking it off 50 yards and more. He kicked all from the dog pound side. So, do you have more faith in Austin Seibert in a big spot?
I can't believe we're still talking about Austin Seibert in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still here.
That's what I can't. I can't. I also know that once he's out of here, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like Gonzalez.
Like Zane Gonzalez. Kicking kicks in Green Bay for Arizona in the rain to win the game in a dry surface in New Orleans.
No.
Motherfucker couldn't make a kick to save his life. Phil Dawson, where are you now?
No, Phil Dawson likes to come in, get these guys all hyped up, tell them the wind swirls in one end of the stadium, and then he leaves.
The Bills
I
game.
need Phil Dawson there permanently.
The Bills game, what he won by himself single-handedly, kicking the ball in a blizzard, was one of the most memorable wins in this little era.
Was that 8-0? Was that score? Something like that?
Weird. It was one of the best. I still to say it was one of my favorite. It's like 50 yards. He made it. It's one of those games. It was just great. They're gonna have a dress.
Talking about the past.
I want to end on the positive. I do like Stefanski. I like how this team is talking. Hard to judge, as Jared says. We are judging because that's what we do. We're fans. We gotta judge this shit a little bit. I was glad to see Njoku had a good practice. I think that's good. Here's a quick run of injuries. Still no Grady Williams. I don't think we're going to see him. He stunk last year, by the way. Yep. Kevin Johnson's got the lacerated liver, so who knows? MJ Stewart, boy, I wish you could start seeing him practice.
Well, Kevin Johnson's waiting. He's not exactly day to day, but he is. It's a day to day type of situation, right? I mean, they don't have a timeline on him, correct?
I think you're talking mid season. I mean, lacerated liver.
Oh shit, that long? Okay, all right.
Lacerated liver, right? I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, the good news that we got out of this after the injuries is Mack Wilson, right? The hyperextended knee, he does not need surgery. So again, he's a week-to-week guy right now, rehabbing, and
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
so he'll be back week 4, week 5, which is great. The other trade rumor not for the Indians, for the Browns. Logan Ryan, the cornerback safety for the Titans. That would be a great pickup. It's obvious. We just ran through the injury list. A lot of safeties and cornerbacks listed on cornerbacks. That would make a lot of sense for the Browns to make that trade if they can make that trade happen. Damian Willis gone, Casey Dunn gone, DJ Montgomery gone. So those are cuts, more cuts coming. You're hearing, I'm interested to hear about the JoJo Natson, Ratleys of the world. Not all those guys are going to make it this year, because Peoples-Jones is at a wonderful camp, which I'm not surprised. By the way, for all those who hate Michigan that much, that kid can play. That is a good draft pick.
Well, what's even going to be better about it is that you're not just talking about this guy being able to pick up as a wide receiver, but man, we have been desperate for a punt returner and a kick returner since Josh Cribbs. So
yes,
fingers crossed that shit works out, please.
Yes, exactly.
Please.
Very, very excited about the Cleveland Alliance, all the teams coming together. That says a lot about Cleveland, by the way. I haven't seen anything like this in any other city yet.
No, and we us Cleveland fans have always, we yearn for this type of thing when all these teams support each other. We loved it when the 16 Cavs were there rooting on the Indians. I mean, this is shit we always eat up. We eat it up. Love it.
Really
when all
do.
the teams get along. Oh,
yep,
it's great.
So it's a great stuff. I have to wrap up quickly, as I got to go. But here's my last thing. This is not a Cleveland story, but this guy was a huge, huge college basketball influencer. Big John Thompson died, the famous head coach from Georgetown. In the 80s, where you wouldn't even know where Georgetown was, wherever, for people who are naive to the colleges and whatnot, he put Georgetown on the map. He put Big East basketball on Boeheim, Massimino, all those guys, Louis Carnesecca for St. John's. All those guys, and Big John was one of the biggest reasons why he made Georgetown who he was. 3 national championship games, beat Houston in '84. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful big game coach. Sad to hear his passing. He was a great sports character. And for people who don't remember, you should look him up. He coached in so many big games, and he always had the big towel around his shoulder. Now I'm sad to hear that today. Big John Thompson, big figure in sports. Huge, well sad to see that.
And well said. I'll leave it at that. You said it all. I need to laugh at this real quick, though. We can turn the frown upside down for a moment. John Gramble on Facebook says, the Tribe makes a huge trade. Training camp's in full swing, and all I catch is Zane Gonzalez bashing. No, John, we were actually praising Zane Gonzalez because he left and he kicked the ball.
I was
uprights.
not praising Zane Gonzalez. That
Wow,
was fucking frustrating. How can that guy miss kicks in a carpet and then out of nowhere pulls a kick out of his ass from 45 plus yards in Lambeau on a wet field and makes it?
My point is,
Ugh.
people do better when they leave Cleveland sometimes. Not all of them, but sometimes. And man, we really notice it when they do. Hey, don't forget, follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Cleveland and Beyond. Follow us on Twitter @CLE and Beyond, @CLE and Beyond, and shoot us an email, Andy and Jarid, JARID, @gmail.com. We are part of Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Andy, final word.
Happy Labor Day week, everyone. We're going to try to keep it consistently. Are you Monday or Tuesday next week? So
Monday,
Jared and I will do a show Monday night. That will be actually leading up into week 1. And we go back to our fall schedule, Mondays and Fridays, as the Browns come back to action, which would be great. Again, 2020 for the Indians trade. I like it. I love it beyond that. I'm not naive. A lot of these parts made a lot of sense. Roll Tribe. Bieber, save us. Talk to you next week. Happy Labor Day week.
Go Tribe. Good
Yes.
move, Indians. I don't have anything witty to say today. That's all. I got nothing else. See you later. Take care. Cool. Bang, bang. Can't hear you.